Good day, everybody. This will be the very first video of the Tourism Talk channel I just created, and we'll start with the topic that I'm most passionate in, which is ecotourism. Now, you might ask why I'm so passionate in this thing. No? I've been doing ecotourism things for more than 20 years, and I've been going around trying to advocate it, trying to educate people and myself on how the concept can be most useful for communities and for the environment. So I would like to believe that I have a lot of things in my pocket right now as regards ecotourism. And since this is the first video that I'm doing on tourism and ecotourism, I would like to ask you if I should continue this because this is actually an experiment. And if I get some support through subscriptions or you subscribing to this channel and giving some comments on what topics to discuss, or if you have questions, then I think that would be a validation for me to continue with this new form of sharing knowledge or even discussions as regards tourism, nature conservation, the things that make me wake up every day, of course, except for my family. So we'll start this now. So with ecotourism, this is the first thing I usually ask people when I go around. Now this one, how do you value nature? This is usually hard to answer for people who have been taking nature for granted. Like if you show them if you show them a tree and you ask them this question, uh, the answer would usually be linear or a single use answer. Meaning, if they see a tree, they would think that in order to benefit from the tree, they would have to cut it down to build houses or tables or chairs. That's the only thing that they could think of, no? And unfortunately, this kind of situation is happening in so many places and in so many countries right now that we're really asking ourselves if if there would be something left for the future generations, maybe not in our lifetime, not in our grandchildren, but in we don't know, no. Um, so we have to put ourselves from a different angle on how we look at nature or how we can really get the benefits provided by nature without destroying the very thing that provides us sustenance, resources, but making sure that those resources are left intact or or to be um, to be gained by what I'm saying the thing is sustainability, to be gained by the future generations. Not, you know that thing. Now this one of the reasons why I'm doing this is I want to show you this slide, which was generated by the Environment Department of the Philippines. Now, if you look at this map, the dark parts on the map on the left side actually indicate the forest cover or the rainforest cover of the Philippines in the year 1900. Now, if you look at the right side, you'll see the dominant color is white and the dark shades are actually highly depleted, and that was the year 1999. Actually, in the early 90s, the the numbers I gathered was during the 1930s or 1935, the rainforest cover of the Philippines was around 16 million hectares. 16 million hectares. If you don't know what a hectare is, that would mean that the, that would be about 10,000 square meters. If you live in a house, in a lot which has an area of around 200 square meters, try to imagine 10,000 square meters. That's 1 hectare. We had 16 million of that. Now, in the early 90s, not 1999, in the early 90s, the, the figure was down to 800,000 hectares. So from 16 million to 800,000 hectares. And if you do it by percentage, we were down by 5%. Intact or virgin forest or rainforest cover in our country. And all those areas, if you look at the map, the intact forest cover or primary or rainforest cover um, was in the Sierra Madre area, the Cordillera, Palawan, parts of Mindanao, and Samar, and a few in Panay Island. So what does it mean? That it means that we've lost so much. 95% of our forest cover or original forest cover. Now, I have to explain. There's a difference between original forest cover, rainforest cover, and the things that we know that we see right now are actually the residual forests. Very few of our people could actually see an original rainforest or intact rainforest because that was 5% more than 20 years ago. Um, Even me, I asked myself if I had been inside the rainforest, and I don't know because we really lost so much. Meaning, again, we may have lost so many of our species, forest species, without science even finding out what they were, or even if they existed, no, because they're gone, extinct, because we've lost 95% of what we had more than 20 years ago. Now I don't know how many is left of that 5%. No? Um, so that's it. But again, but the thing is, as regards tourism, we pride ourselves and we tell the whole world that the Philippines is a very good country nature-wise. That we have some of the best beaches, islands, forests, animals in the world, in spite the fact that we were left with 5% of what we had compared to 1935. Okay, so guys, this is what we're looking at. We we have very little to work on as regards the resources, and yet that very little amount of nature is already giving us so much in terms of benefits, social, economic, jobs, businesses. So what we can do is we try to really understand how we can work with what's left of nature, in order to really sustain us economically wise, and ensure that the remaining resources would not be totally depleted and would totally impact us, um, our population and our way of living. No, so this is it. This is the intro of ecotourism. Now, I would like to find out if I'm doing the right thing, guys. Comment, subscribe. Let me know if I should continue this, or I should just enjoy my anonymity somewhere in this world, no? Okay. If I get a good number of subscriptions or comments, then expect more tourism talk, primarily on ecotourism and probably other subjects that you would want me to talk on. Okay? Maraming salamat.